Put my name in there. It'll take you.
Yeah, and he wrote something in the comments on the right there, and that's his YouTube name that Greg was just spelling out.
SCARK, and then there's a small p and a small s, and then there's Len Dorman. Hey, we just lost him again.
Oh.
But I don't imagine you guys have ever seen Dale. I don't know if you have or not.
No. Nope. Meeting people
Coming
every day.
Back.
You're back?
Now you're underneath and backstage twice. I'm afraid to take that one out. Oh, there it goes. It disappeared.
It's that spirit that's hanging around with Len these days. It just keeps on knocking him out of the room because he wants the picture to himself. And where's your character at behind you? Is he there too?
Which one?
The dog. Where's the dog? There you go.
Yeah.
And what's his name?
It froze with the dog on it.
Oh, you just moved.
I think it's freezing on him again.
That's cute.
The skeleton dog is now part of the show.
And talk with the bottom jaw of that thing. It's
looks like a German Shepherd the way his teeth.
It looks like a T-Rex.
German Shepherd.
Looks like a T-Rex from that angle.
He's just a little puppy dog.
Right. What's his name again?
He's just a little puppy dog. See, what's his name?
Yeah.
I forgot. Bones.
Bones. Okay.
You know what?
Give a dog a bone.
Bones before you even said that.
He's all bones.
That's funny. It's the name I was going to suggest.
The ice cream is melting too fast now, I bet. You better keep on going, Len. It's going to be soup by the time you get back to it.
I was afraid I was going to have a hard time getting on here tonight because of the storms. Then it always gets slowed down when they have it downtown. Star City got nailed harder than we did.
We wanted to say hi to you and see if we could get you on. You know, just something to do. Because you're a very interesting gentleman, and it's...
You jinxed him. Tried to pay him a compliment and jinxed him, Greg.
He froze.
I tried to do the same thing to the lady.
He froze because of his ice cream. Here he comes in with a second window again. Let's see if we can add him.
We're going to have two of them. Oh, there he goes.
Oh.
You're okay now?
Back again.
All right. Where'd you go that time? This is like a remote viewing session.
Tonight, my internet's having more burps than blazing saddles.
Who was that?
Is that a baby? Has somebody got a baby? What?
What?
A baby, everybody? I know Lenny doesn't.
Funny. No babies
It
here.
wasn't me. I heard it through my headsets.
No, that was out loud in this room. I've had that happen 2 or 3 times in the last couple of days.
That sound?
I've been editing videos, and we've been. I've been struggling a little bit this week with. My uncle passed away on Sunday.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, Reggie.
We got a funeral on Friday. He was like the pillar of my dad's side of the family, you know. But I've been hearing, I got it recorded, that same kind of sound.
It sounded like a laugh.
Yeah,
Here.
I heard it out loud while I was editing the video, and I turned the video, or I stopped editing, I turned it down. And I was just kind of looking around, and so I checked all 3 of the cameras in here, and it sounded up close to the one in front of me, a little closer to the one next to me that's pointed the other direction, and it sounded like it was at a distance from the one that's in the kitchen. So I think there was a spirit or something right next to me trying to say something to me out loud. Or communicate is what that's the only thing I can gather because of the volume differences between the 3 cameras in here.
Uh-huh.
Is that they're right here?
You have it recorded?
Yeah, it's on the security cameras. The sound is.
Uh-huh.
And I time stamped it about 127 to 129 in there, so on the live.
Oh, okay.
So if we want to go back and review.
Yeah. Yeah, I've been hearing that. It happened today too, while I was on with Rosie. It's a unique sound that I've never heard any of the apartments around me or anything make. So I don't know.
It sounded female.
Well, if it is spirit, they know that I'm acknowledging right now just by me talking about it.
Right.
And so, I love you. Whoever you are. Yeah, it's been kind of a rough week. And we're going to try, I'm like really wanting to go do something. And I found out that, because I'm always working, and if I'm not working, Christy is.
Mm-hmm.
Well, she has Sundays off. And I worked it out on during the summer to have Sunday, Monday, Tuesday off. And this next Monday and Tuesday, it looks like Christy's off. So I'm like really pushing. It won't be on a regular podcast day, but I may be doing a live at St. Michael's on Monday. Maybe.
Right.
And I'm also going to be making a call and trying to get, and I believe I'd be the only one that's ever been in there. I'm going to try and land House on the Rock in Wisconsin.
Ooh, that would be interesting. Lots of different stuff in there. I've never been, but Tiffany went, and she was telling me all about it.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, it's an amazing place. I wouldn't be thinking about doing this so much, but they got like a Halloween thing where you can go in there. It's called the Darker Side or whatever, where you can go in for a couple hours in the evening with the lights are down low and stuff like that. So I thought I'd put on a sales pitch. You know, if they want to know if there's spirit there, I'm the one that can tell them. You know, and then I can promote it for them if they want me to. And so, oh man, there he is.
Back with a vengeance.
Yes, I reset it, so hopefully it's a little bit faster now. Sometimes the system gets overloaded, and I've just got to turn off the strip and reset everything. So
Sounds
hopefully
good
I'm on
now.
a different tower now and a little bit faster internet.
Sounds great, Len. So have you got anything going on down there for investigations?
Well, we've had so much rain. There's a local hospital I'd love to get into, but I don't want to go in there by myself, and I've got to have a dry period because the roof leaks. And I haven't been in there all this year because we had about 3 weeks without rain. That was barely enough to dry that place out. And I can't find anybody to go with me, and it's in a bad neighborhood. Basically, if Greg was down here, two of us could go in there. We're both going to have a pistol on our hips if we go in there.
You have to.
Yeah, I mean, but bullets go through ghosts. I don't know if you guys realize that or not. I was being funny. I see how it is, Greg. You can tell dry humor joke, but I can't.
Is it in a bad area?
Down there, yeah.
Oh yeah, it's across the street from school, and there's gangs in school. It's in a town called Dumas. A couple of years ago, there was it was made national news because there was a shooting. There were several people killed there during a car show.
Oh.
And the car show was held just a few blocks from this it's a closed hospital, and it's definitely haunted. They used to have
I'll be right back.
Halloween event there,
Excuse me.
and they had to stop because some of the people were getting possessed.
Wow.
It's a great place to investigate. I've got voices, footsteps. You got one spirit controls the others. It'll be a very interesting place to go in there with an all-night investigation. Just go in there in the middle of the afternoon and stay there till daylight. But again, I don't want to do it by myself, and I can't find anybody here locally that won't even go into a cemetery with me.
Now, question: do you think the energy from that old hospital is being put off onto the people in the area, and that caused the violence to kind of stir up, maybe?
That's what I'm thinking. You've got a small town going bad. There's only about 5,000 population. The crime there, percentage-wise, is bad as Chicago or worse.
Okay.
Per capita.
Yeah, Chicago's
the
pretty
schools
bad.
cannot get rid of the gangs. And you got the police station a quarter of a mile away, but the town doesn't have that much money to pay overtime for the police, and the police just try to keep their head down. There's a nearby town called Gould, and they elected a few years ago a female mayor. But if you went to the town hall, there is a guy behind her desk, and he's the local drug king.
Oh.
So they may have elected a woman. She was letting, and the only police officer there was letting the drug king run the town.
They were that scared of him?
Yeah. Well, this is a small town of about 600 people. So yeah, the drugs run that town, and they're taking over the Dumas. They're only about 5 miles apart.
Now, what's that hospital called?
Put it this way: the local town start. The school, I forget the name of the school.
The only
No, the hospital.
In
You said
Dumas,
the hospital,
Arkansas.
right?
The hospital. It is the same name as the existing hospital in Dumas, except this is the old one. I'm trying to think of the name of it. I'm drawing a blank.
I'll have to Google it because I'm wondering how long has that been seen?
There's only one hospital in Dumas. Closed. I think it closed in 98.
Man. Yeah, if I lived down there, I'd go in there with you.
They can't.
I don't know.
They don't-
Get your
Tear it
flat
it-
jacket, Reggie.
It's got asbestos in it.
That even makes it better.
It's got asbestos in it. You could, if you wanted to pay the property taxes on the property, you could probably buy the building for a handful of bucks. The city would gladly sell it to anybody for a few dollars, pay the property taxes, and you would either have to tear it down or you would have to repair the roof.
Get rid of the asbestos.
Either way, you got to hire a hazmat team to come in there and remove the asbestos.
Right.
This hospital had no mortuary and no disposal for body parts. And when somebody died, they pushed the body into one or two waiting rooms they had.
You're breaking up pretty
Other
bad.
room being used as the emergency room waiting room. A miscarriage. They buried the miscarried child in back of the hospital. There are a lot of miscarried children buried just in unmarked graves in the just a small grassy field behind the hospital.
Could find
So
out.
they
You can
got
imagine
a
going to a
water
waiting room where, but you might be going into a waiting room and realizing that maybe 10 or 15 minutes before, an hour before, that waiting room had been empty except for a dead body waiting on the county coroner to come pick it up.
To find out who the heck was the one that made the decisions about burying the little people in the backyard.
Little people in the backyard.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? The babies.
That's
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 wrong.
Bad.
Yeah.
I've never heard of a hospital not having a
but that's what you get. That well, the new one does, fortunately. But this was a hospital built, I guess, in the 50s or 60s, and I guess they just didn't consider it worthwhile with a town that small.
Yeah. Said 500 people. You know how much? You know how many people
5,000.
were there in 5,000?
Yes.
Whenever
That
you have a
confuses
hospital,
me.
You're gonna have death.
5,000 people confuses me.
Yeah, I don't understand.
How much of a drug
Why is that?
king can you possibly be in a town of 5,000?
That's horrible.
What the drug king is in Gould, and that's a town of 600. Basically, everybody's on the drug guy's payroll.
Ain't nobody intimidate me. Man. I don't know what's wrong with people.
Too many people turn a blind eye.
Well, it just drives me insane to think about all the people, that's what kind of pushes me to go after some of these unsolved cases and stuff. I don't know, to get inside the mind of a mass shooter or a serial killer. I don't know. I just can't even.
It will mess you up.
It won't mess me up because I recognize it, if I'm thinking that way, because I've drawn in the energy, I recognize it. I understand the thrill of it all. I do.
Where'd Len go again?
But
He lost.
yeah, we're going to keep losing him, I think. But yeah,
Alicia, I thought it was your job to watch him.
Oh.
Actually, I'm gonna have to go here too. It's getting late for me.
Okay.
But thank you
Reddy's
for inviting
just
me
waking up.
on.
Thanks for coming. It's been
And it was
awesome
nice to
having
meet
you
you,
on.
Carol. Yeah,
Nice
I'm glad to
meeting
see
you
you guys
also.
again.
There he is. He's back.
Hi, Lynn. I'm gonna have to go, so it was nice to meet you too. Have a good night.
There. Remember to smile.
Okay, Carol.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Take care.
So you're there with us now, Len? You're here, right?
Is he frozen?
I don't know. He moved a minute ago. Checkmate King 2 to White Rook over.
yeah, he's not having a good time with that internet signal.
No, he's not.
Oh, that would drive me bananas.
It does. That's why I am the way I am today, Carol.
The only time I ever have a problem is when I'm on location. I'm trying to do a live.
Oh, come on. You do a great live. You get lives in places I can't even get a signal.
Yeah, but it takes me 45 minutes, and then I got to figure out where I got to walk to where I'm not getting booted off.
That's because the spirits are playing with your instruments.
Yeah.
Okay,
It's
that's a
Yeah.
good way to put it. That somebody's playing with your instrument.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Well, it happens.
But I got to tell you what, of all things in the world, I'm never going to say Mr. Lynn Dorman isn't a fighter.
There he is.
He's not giving up. I'd be doing the same thing. You should see me on location when I can't get the hot spot right. I'm in the background going, oh my God, like that, trying to get the internet to work. Yeah, I know.
I may, Len, I may be seeing one of your old friends.
Yep.
In the next week or two, I'm going to see Walt Dvorak. I'll probably be seeing.
Walter Dvorak.
Yeah. I'll probably be seeing him in a week or two.
Oh,
I
okay.
haven't seen him in a
Now,
while.
Greg, if you want to come down here and investigate the hospital, bring Walt to you.
If I can get out and get down there, I'm going to Canada on the 15th, and then when I get back, I'm here for about 6 days, and then the whole family goes to northern Wisconsin. So the only time I'll have is the fall, and I don't know what's going on then. I know in October we got Rock Island, And if something comes up and we talk, when I talk to him, we'll see what he has to say. We'll take it from there.
Okay.
He's a very
For
interesting
Reginald
gentleman.
and Carol, who, yes, he is. I was about to say, but for Reginald and Carol, Walter Dvorak is a big gunman. Well, one is a big man. He's a pretty good sized fellow in every dimension, and a great personality. But he's also a gun guy. And that's why I said that if Greg comes down here and he and I investigate the hospital, Walter would be a great guy to have at your back. Because he wouldn't walk in there without at least 3 or 4 weapons with him.
So you would feel safe in going in the hospital?
I don't know.
I don't think we'd have anything to worry about if I went in there because I make so much damn noise when I'm talking to spirit. I think about everybody run from that hospital. They'd hear a ghost yelling at them to get out, like coming out of my pocket. They'd be like, ain't nobody's lips moving. Where'd that voice come from?
Are there actually a lot of people in the building that shouldn't be in there? Is that what you're saying, Len?
Did you hear that? No. Carol says, "Are there a lot of people in the building that shouldn't be there?"
There's one guy who goes in there and shouldn't be there. There's somebody else keeps a litter box for cats in there.
Oh.
So there's at least 1 or 2 people going there that's not supposed to be in there. They try to keep it under lock and key, but that one homeless guy they got in that town keeps breaking into it.
Uh-huh. Yeah, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah, I wish ghosts and spirit had more energy than they do, because they could probably keep people out of there if they did.
Yeah.
What that hospital needs is a good poltergeist.
Right. Scare them away and keep them out where they're not supposed to be. My daughter and I are going the end of July to St. Augustine, and with just the 2 of us, I don't want to be walking around the streets at night by myself or into locations that I don't know. So I need to find somebody that I can bring along or that can take us along to locations that are not on the normal places that people normally go.
You mean the tours?
Yeah, I don't want to just do regular tour locations.
But don't you think they'd be able to tell you where those other spots are?
Yeah, but I don't want to just go with just my daughter and I either.
Oh, I see.
So I'm going to have to find somebody to hire to come with us.
Well, maybe that tour director, after they get done doing their other tours, will help you.
Yeah, I always end up finding somebody.
Yeah. I did the same thing in Seattle.
Yeah, we hired somebody when we were in Gettysburg, and we hired somebody in Savannah. We always find somebody.
Did you tell everybody your story about Gettysburg and the bridge, Saxon Bridge?
No.
Why don't you share that with
anybody
everybody?
about that?
It's very interesting.
Oh, about the cigarette? The cigarettes? Well, there was a group that had gone before us. When my daughters and I go anywhere, spirit usually interacts with us very strongly when the 3 of us are together, or even just the 2 of us. And we had gone to Sax Bridge in Gettysburg, and it was my youngest daughter and I, and a friend of hers and her mom. And there's an area where you can put a cigarette on a pole, and speak to a spirit there. I think he's a colonel or a general that had passed. And the group that was standing there before us couldn't get him to do anything, the spirit. And so the guy that I had hired to take us around, he said, take out one of your cigarettes and see if you could get him to smoke off of one of your cigarettes. So I lit one of my cigarettes and he smoked the whole cigarette. And he was answering yes and no questions for us with the cigarette going up and down and left and right for no and up and down for yes and no. Yes, yes, up and down, up for yes and left and right for no. And then he smoked the whole cigarette. And then I lit a second one and he smoked that one also. It was very surprising. It doesn't really happen that often when you get 2 cigarettes smoked, let alone a full one.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
But that's the place that it happens a lot.
Yeah, in that area.
Like you said, yeah.
Yeah, he was very talkative to us.
Because that's really a very glum location, considering that the whole entire Confederate army that was left went through that bridge.
Right.
So I mean,
Yeah, we had a really very active time when I went with my daughter. That was an amazing trip. And then when we went to Savannah, we had very active activity in the Savannah Theater. That was amazing also. The door closed. We saw a shadow underneath the door. And we asked the door to close for us. And a cowboy chased me with cowboy boots on. I could hear the spurs hitting the stage. He chased me from behind the stage on stage left. And then I was able to figure out what his name was before it came out through the spirit box. And I was able to see him up on the catwalk.
Wow.
And
that had to be cool.
Yeah, that was really something. That was before we went there with Truth and Evidence.
Full body?
What?
What?
Yeah, I was able to see a full body.
I said, was it a full bodied apparition?
Yeah,
Wow.
I was able to see the full body. But nobody else was able to see him. I could see he was jumping from Portals to Hell had gone there to investigate. And there was like a brick wall behind the stage, and there was like a fire escape in their show. And then up above that fire escape there was a small catwalk. And I was able to see him up on that catwalk area right above the fire escape. On their show, the fire escape actually was blue. And that's where I saw him, up on that area. And we had gone maybe a year before they had investigated it. And my daughter was holding the SLS camera. And I was able to see him with my eyes, but they were able to see him on the SLS.
Wow.
So I was telling them where to point the camera, for the SLS. And he was up on the ladder, the fire escape first, and then he was up on the catwalk, and then he was jumping back and forth between the two. And then I said his name was Jimmy, and then Jimmy came through the spirit box. And yeah, he spoke a while. I don't know if he was the cowboy though that chased me to begin with. When he started chasing me, it was pitch black, and I was back there by myself, and it felt like I thought he was going to run through me, That's the feeling that I got. And so I turned and ran to get away from it because I didn't want it to run through me. But I didn't know where I was going because I was in that area by myself, even though I've been to a lot of backstage areas. I still was turned around in the pitch black. So yeah, he didn't run through me, but you hear me yelling, "Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God," on the recorder because he came really close and then it just stopped.
It's just chasing a pretty girl.
No, he really scared the heck out of me. Really scared me.
It's an opportunity.
And since then, I've after him chasing me, and then after me seeing that spirit up on the catwalk and the fire escape, I've been getting touched. They mostly touch me back here, behind my ear and up in my hairline. And when that started happening, that started scaring me. But now I don't get afraid of it. I'm so used to it now. I just know that if they touch me, they touch me. It doesn't scare me anymore.
Yeah, from the moment I got touched for the first time, I thought that was the coolest thing ever. I just said, "I love you. I can feel you. Thank you."
Yeah.
Touch me again.
Yeah.
As
long as it wasn't a scratch or a pinch or anything like that.
Well, I got a mark on me over a broadhead that last time.
You did.
Yeah, and it was recorded that someone saying that I scratched him.
Oh.
But I was asking, I could feel it, and I was like, "Thank you." It doesn't bother me because they're just trying to communicate. This is the way I see it.
They
Even
don't realize
if it's a scratch,
right?
It's just spiritual energy, and they're trying to touch you or trying to communicate. I don't really associate it with anything evil.
Right.
You know, it's just them trying to communicate, and if they can figure out a way to get you to feel them, no matter how it is, that's the way it gets presented.
Yeah.
You know.
Do all you people feel the same way in the room here? That it's
After
because
that
of
first
what
time, it never frightened me after that. The only other time that I felt uncomfortable was I was at Burlington Prison in New Jersey, and I was up against the wall. I had a backpack on my back, and I felt a spirit behind me. And again, I told my daughter to turn the SLS there so that she could see it. And it started to hug me from the back, but then it wouldn't let go, and it kept squeezing tighter and tighter. And even after me asking for it to let go and release, because it was starting to feel uncomfortable, the more it squeezed, it wouldn't let go. I had to walk out of the room and then tell it to let go even stronger. And then it finally released. It took about 5 minutes to get it off. And then it finally did let go. But it didn't frighten me. The only location that really frightens me is the house that I grew up in. And I still have problems with it.
Mm.
I think it's because that ghost, the one that committed suicide there, frightened me at such a young age, maybe. I don't know what it is, but yeah, I have a hard time in that house.
Pardon my silence tonight. I'm just listening to everybody. I've had kind of a long day.
I understand. You've had a hard week.
Yeah. And then I wasn't going to let, that stop me from helping Rosie today. So I kept my eye on the clock and got on there with her and did what I do. I had to show her a couple videos of it. She hasn't seen them all, and I showed her a couple to kind of lighten my feelings. you know, before I went into the session. But yeah, we're 9:15.
Greg, what was the comments about people being touched? Because I can't see any comments.
I don't think anybody posted any.
Oh.
I'm trying to think what I was going to say. The thing that I was going to bring up was that if everybody had the same outlook about it, about when ghosts would touch you, do you think that this business about scratching is something that was created by TV and shows?
Me personally?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's a fear factor, for TV to make people, to gain viewers. I think
we've
the way
all
Reggie
seen.
does, I think it is.
Agreed.
I think it's just something to build up the fear factor for TV. I don't think they're doing it on
Yes.
purpose. I think it's like an accidental type thing when they're trying to just get your attention. Because I really haven't had or come across anything that's been negative in that way for anything touching me or trying to harm me in any way like that.
I always, when I have the feeling and I know somebody's there, what I'll do is I'll hold my hand out
Mm-hmm.
and I'll ask them to touch my hand.
Does that work?
And invariably it's worked, but it's worked with kids.
Okay.
So it worked at Poasttown Elementary, and they actually come up and grab your fingers, and you could walk with them.
Oh, that's nice.
And it was me and one of the ladies from the group, and she had one on her side, and I had one on my side, and we were walking down this hallway where all these kids would hang around. And they were all the kids from the Depression, so they were all, the only thing that meant anything to them was their school.
Mm-hmm.
They really had no life at all at home.
Right.
So if one of them got sick and died, they would go to the school. They wouldn't go to their home.
Right, because that was their most important part of their time.
So, I've had a lot of interaction there. I had that one video I had of the doll and the eddy meter that moved on the chair.
Mm-hmm.
That I showed a few times. That was caught there, and it wasn't me that caught it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not saying caught it. I'm saying that actually found it on the video, because it was one of those videos that out of the whole entire video, hey Lenny, out of the whole entire video, it was like 1 minute and 37 seconds out of a section of video that was like over 30 minutes long. And if you weren't really paying attention, it was boring.
Right.
Until you actually saw what was happening. And then the only thing I picked up on was the little foot of the doll at the beginning. And it was hardly the end of the shoe was showing. And as I went back and went over it again and again, all of a sudden there was more of her foot showing, until there was a lot of foot showing.
Wow.
And then there was a leg showing. And the eddy meter has a rubber case on it.
Right.
So, and it was on one of those plastic school chairs. So it wasn't just sliding along, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Something had to apply a lot of pressure to get it to move. And from where I was compared to where it was, what they were trying to do, they were on my side and they were trying to move the eddy out of the way to get to the doll.
Oh.
At
With
least
their
that's
foot?
what I. Huh?
With their foot?
No. I'm saying that's the first focal part that I caught on the doll itself on the chair.
I see. Okay.
See, so it was very, very little was showing on that side.
Right.
And then as soon as that meter started to move, more of the foot became exposed.
Okay.
So then
Wow,
it was
that's
like,
great.
well, it was by chance. It was, you know how you get to a point where you look at something on and on again. And
Yeah.
I was really grateful about it.
You almost start falling asleep from staring
Well,
at it.
yeah,
almost
you
the
can't
same thing.
very easily.
Yeah.
So, but it was very interesting. It was a lot of fun.
Mhm.
It's getting to the point where I'm starting to feel bad for Lynn on this interview.
Very persistent.
I'm just sitting up in my chair with my hand on the mouse, waiting to click you back in.
He's got a firm lead on joining the show. I think out of everybody that's ever been asked to join the show, I think Lynn's leading by about 15 right now.
Well, at least you're able to get back in.
Yeah.
It's not kicking you out for good.
What about problem is we have a lot of gamers in this county that's on the same service I am.
So it slows the speed down.
So it slows the speed down, and they're just steady gaming because that takes up a lot of room, and I'm sharing towers with them.
Right.
Boy, that's hard to believe that they let that happen to everybody else for them to play their games. But that's a lot of money too, though.
You can't control that. There's no controlling that.
I'd probably quit the game I was playing because if it's happening,
I would. The ultimate answer would be to get. Yeah.
Go ahead, man.
But the answer would be the Elon Musk system, the Starlink.
Oh no.
See, he started talking about UFOs and Starlinks.
And it kicked him out.
No, I think I'd be quitting the game that I was playing because if it's doing this much to him, if there's a very active game at all, that wouldn't run very fast either.
That would drive me nuts.
You got them shooting your screen. Their screens now, Len, when they're playing the game. Probably sitting playing the game and they're shooting it. What time are we going to stop this show?
Wow, it's 10:30 here.
Well, anytime's fine. I'm real quiet because of how long of a day or 2 days I've had, and then I'm getting really, really tired. I wasn't able to sleep very well.
I'm sorry we're going to quit after you got the lead, Len, as far as startups coming back on. Oh, no.
I'm going to look up Guinness Book of World Records and see who has a record for the most re-entries back into a podcast.
Right, I think he's got it.
He might win. Wow.
And then he shows up twice backstage. He's about ready to show up again right now. And there he is.
Oh my gosh.
I'm afraid to remove this other one.
I'm back again.
There, I removed it, but it's still backstage.
I think we're gonna split now, though. If that's okay, I don't want to say anything. Len's gonna probably go.
Thank
crazy.
you for inviting me in.
Oh yeah, thank you for being
here.
I'll keep you in my prayers, Reggie.
Oh, thank you. And anybody anybody in our viewing audience out here, this is a true honor to hear Carol say what she always types in live.
Remember to smile.
Oh. What else did you possibly want? Lenny just fell out.
Oh, again.
Oh no.
Everybody,
Have
Adriana, and everybody else that's still here. You guys all have a wonderful evening. And we're going to keep one in our back room. If that's okay, right? You're going to end the show?
Yep.
Just keep them live. Carol, it's been a pleasure. Thank you very much for being here.
Thank you.
It's an honor to have you on.
Thanks.
Oh, yeah.
Talk to you both.
Okay. We'll see you later.
Take care.
Have a good night.
Good night.